Yo, you listen to More About Something Else? This is Joshua. And please, go check out the website, moreaboutsomethingelse.com. Now here's a clip from the show. You're in a tough spot right now, right? So what do you do to resolve the issue? You know, I always think about what I can change and not what I cannot change. Especially when it's something that's going on in the head. Like I can tell you something personal is going on right now. But I started to think about it and it's been on my mind for a while. And I feel like I was stressing about it, but I was stressing about it for the wrong reasons. You know, I started thinking more about it as in, okay, there's this issue here, you know, what are you going to do about it? So I had to change the way I thought. And I started to think about things about if there's a problem, seek the solution. I feel like once we start looking at things and start to figure out that if we can change it, if we can find a solution for it and not go off of emotion. And now that you've heard that, let's begin.
First off, I'm going to have to ask you to go and rate this show, maybe even leave a comment. And you could do that on iTunes or SoundCloud, and for Android users, you can now listen via Google Play. Now, this podcast may contain explicit content, just saying, so open your mind, relax, and listen to this dope-ass podcast.
For thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Hey, food for thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest.
If people don't understand that, well, they don't understand nothing.
Truth spilling, leaving victims to my honest ways. I come in peaks like an alien from outer space. Internet pirates riding waves on your webpage. Download the shit, click the link, press play. I don't mean to pray, but I pray every week for myself, for my fam, cause we all gotta eat. Protein, no more sweets. Till I'm caked up on the beach in Belize. Food for thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Wait, food for thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Wait.
Yo, you're listening to More About Something Else. My name is Joshua. And, I just want to say thank you because we're still going strong on this podcast. And I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. But yeah, man, we on a whole 54 episodes. You know, my born day was last week. So, I had to relax, take a chill pill. Everybody was asking me what I wanted to do or what I was going to do or I was going to turn up. And, I just usually like to take my birthday and use it as a day of reflection. Honestly, like I look back on it and I'm just like, I didn't know that I was going to make it this far, just as far as like where I am today. And, I truly appreciate where I am right now. So, I decided to just chill, have the day to myself, go into hiding. And that's perfectly fine. Not all birthdays do you have to turn up. Besides that, guys, go to the website, moreaboutsomethingelse.com. Got everything there, pretty much. Even if you're looking for old episodes of the show, or if you want to read a blog, or if you want to read certain different things. Like there's different categories for you guys to go and check out. But moreaboutsomethingelse.com. Also, please rate this show. It's on iTunes. It's on Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud. Also working on iHeartRadio. So I don't know. Just enjoy the show, really. Really, there's nothing to it. If you like it, go ahead and tell somebody about it. Tell a friend. Really, you should be putting your friends on. If you are a subscriber and you've been listening to this show since forever or whenever I started this podcast and you still haven't told a friend, I don't know. But the support is greatly appreciated. So thank you. Besides that, in last episode, I talked about just not having any type of time for Drake slander. And, it seems like everybody tries to put Drake in this category. And literally, I just said this last week, or the week before, or the episode before. hey, we're not going to tolerate that because what Drake does and what other artists do are two different things. So I just want to talk about the cultural appropriation. I don't understand. So I would need somebody to educate me, but it's like saying a white person has braids or dreads. In some cases, they're culturally appropriating, and okay, I understand that. I do also understand in somebody taking somebody else's culture and using it as if it's their own type of thing and not giving recognition to what it was or where they got it from. Okay, I understand that. When it comes to music, Bruno Mars, I like Bruno Mars. I'm not a big fan, but I like him. He had everybody singing 24 Karat Magic in the air for how long? For damn near a whole year, right? And now y'all just now starting to be upset about things. And the crazy thing about it is the reason why Bruno Mars is so successful in what he does is because there's nobody else in that category. So why are you going to get mad at somebody else for taking credit? It's like you want the credit for this thing, but you're not willing to step into that. People are too busy doing other things in the music. And it seems like everybody's doing that one formula that it may seem like it's a good formula. Well, you can't really just get mad at Bruno Mars for that. But I understand what everybody's mad about. But the only issue that I have now is that y'all talking about Drake. They say Drake is a culture vulture. He goes and steals from different cultures, like with the Jamaicans and whatnot. And what people will need to realize is that Drake is from Toronto, right? And in Toronto, or pretty much in Canada, and I know people are upset about it because they've never been outside the country, but Toronto is diverse. It's a diverse place. Canada is a diverse place. So you would understand when somebody likes music, but the one thing that Drake does about everything is whenever it's about a cultural thing like the Jamaicans, he does put those artists on, the ones that he does choose to work with. So why y'all mad? I feel like people just like to pick at Drake because he's the easiest target and he doesn't reply back to anybody. But I don't know. All I know is that it's not going to be tolerated. But yeah, that's all I really got to say about that. If you have a problem with cultural appropriation and how people are acting, I don't know if there's anything you can really do about it. I don't feel like people really understand. That's why they do what they have to do. And, I don't know if crying about it really does anything, to be honest. And that's just my personal opinion about it. But hey, I don't know. Who am I? Segue into things that bother me this week. I drive a lot, I like driving. I just don't like handicap drivers with, the ones with the parking thing on their mirror that shows you that, hey, I can park at the front of the store, or I can park close to the vicinity. I think that's the only thing really, but those are really the craziest drivers. And if you hit one of them, that's it. Like, you're gonna get in trouble. And I just see it and I don't like it. And I just don't feel like if you have some type of disability that you need to be driving. I'm gonna be honest with you. I see people use the handicap parking pass just cause their family member has it. So they use it and they're terrible drivers. The whole moral behind this is that they need to reevaluate who gets a license and who doesn't. Cause it's really annoying. It really is annoying. And I can't take any more of it. It's only a matter of time. Before, I just get mad. And I don't want to get mad. But yeah, it's Girl Scout time. And I hope you guys know how I feel about Girl Scouts. It's a true hustle for little girls to come and approach you, asking if you want to buy cookies and give you these dog eyes and pout, and you just can't resist. I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend my money. Every time I go to the store, I avoid them. I go around because who wants to say no to little girls? Like, they're asking for your money, essentially. I don't know. I just feel like it's a scam, but it bothers me heavily. Besides that, I've been going on social media lately, and I've been scaling back, to be honest, but I'm on social media, and I like that I've kept this consistency when I see plastic surgery. I just want to say plastic surgery bothers me, like, personally, and I only say that because when I think about things, I think of long term. I don't think of in the now when it comes to just certain things like that, or when it comes to altering your body, like to be specific, right? I don't like it because, to me, as somebody that talks about nutrition and physical fitness, it's just like, yo, you gave up, I see people get plastic surgery, then try to be these fitness gurus. I'm just like, bro, you cheated. And I just don't understand. You know, when you see these celebrities like Kim K and Black China, and you know, their butt just doesn't look right. The butt to thigh ratio, it's not, there's nothing there comparable. Like the equivalency in that, none. And it's sad. It truly is sad, but I can't help that situation. I'm just here to say that, yo, for you to think that it's okay to walk around like that, it's mental illness. And for anybody else to think that that's okay, look, K Michelle had to reduce her lipo. I mean, not lipo, her butt, because it was starting to affect her, like health wise. And nobody ever talks about the struggle of plastic surgery. You know, I'm glad that she came out, she talked about it. It's probably the best thing I've heard is that, hey, this is not all it's supposed to be, you know? I know it doesn't cost much to get plastic surgery anymore because they're finding quicker shortcuts to get around to what they're doing, but hey, what's the point of it? People say, oh, well, I just want it so I can build self-confidence in myself. That's pathetic. Be honest with you, it's pathetic. Like, there's some things that you just can't change. I understand certain types of alterations. I do. Like if you lost all that weight and you have extra or the excess skin, you want to snip that off. Okay, I understand that. I understand maybe like a little tummy tuck or something. Just like after a pregnancy, like I understand that. But I don't understand when you go out and do certain things and go to extreme measures just to do that, to deal with plastic surgery. And you know, it's easy to say, you know, it's not your body, but I know that I'm not attracted to it. I never will be. And I think it's even scarier that you can't really tell anymore. But who knows? Those are the things that bother me, guys. So I was thinking, right? I bought a new watch. And I bought this watch because, one, I feel like it's fly. But I bought this watch because time is important. Time is our greatest commodity. That is my favorite line to say. And I feel like it's important because you never know, right? As I was having that moment of recollection on my born day, and, you know, honestly, I thought about it. And I don't want to say that I wasted a lot of time doing stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing, or not being on the track that I'm supposed to be on. But I'm well aware now that I'm halfway to 50, that I'm 5 years away from 30, because every day you have to think about it. Like, what have you done? A lot of people like to stress themselves out about life, having a mini midlife crisis because of social media and because other people are being more successful than you at the time. You know, it's one thing to say that it's not your time, definitely. But it's another thing to keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, keep doing what you say you're going to be doing, and just keep going on. Consistency is key. Can't stress that enough. You know, I struggle with consistency. I'm going to be honest with you. Be so honest with you. And, you know, even when I'm doing these challenges, like it's hard, right? But the one major thing is that if I keep doing it, then I'm going to benefit from it. And that's always what I told myself, that it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. You know, a lot of people like to say that about school, but I don't know, in this condition that we're in right now, right? I just feel like it's important to think about time. See, I don't like going out with certain people. I don't like doing things that I know is going to waste my time. I just don't. And it's not that I feel like I'm above anybody. I just know that I could be doing something more with my time. And I think that's why I'm a little bit sleep deprived. But I just feel like working on myself and working on the things that I want to do and my craft will benefit me so much more. I'm still doing these challenges, right? So I added scheduling to my list of challenges, right? I made my calendar for the whole month. Work schedule, workout, meditation, yoga, appointments, leisure time, the whole 9 yards. And I feel like it's made my life a little bit more simple. I feel like it's made things better for me to make time to do more things. Like today I had free time, so I went to the library and I worked in that little workspace. Like that was awesome. I had time to do that. Before, like, I wasn't really conscious about the time and what I was doing and how I was spending my time, but it's okay. It really is okay, because now you know. And that's why I feel like a lot of this is coming from is self-awareness. That, hey, I'm spending this time doing this. Like, is it worth me doing this right now? And even in my brief studies of self-help and just these characteristics of people that have made it in their lives, and they talk about scheduling, they talk about time, how important it is. And I can't stress that I'm more hungry now than I've ever been in my life. I'm grateful. Sometimes I question myself, like, what did I do after high school, or what could I have done after high school that could have made a difference? Or not even in after high school. What about in high school? I tried to do certain things and it didn't work out, and here I am. But I feel like I'm a lot stronger now than I ever will be. But look, time is important. Don't waste your time doing nothing that you really don't care about doing, or that you're aware enough to know that you're wasting your time. So there's this business term that a lot of these businesses use when it comes to making a business decision. Well, I hope all these businesses are using this when it comes to business decision making. It's called ROI, return of interest. And, let's put this whole Netflix and Monique situation into perspective, right? So Netflix offers Monique $500,000. My oh my, that's a lot of money. But they offer her that, and she says no, that I feel like I deserve more, that look what I've done. And from what I've learned, just in life and in sports especially, because a lot of these sports owners, say, let go of marquee players. Like Dwayne Wade, they let him go. I mean, obviously he's back in Miami, but they let him go. And they said, well, we know you got us 2 championships, but you just can't deliver for us in the future. Same thing with Monique. We know what you've done. We know you got these awards, but we're looking into the future. And when I think about that, I think about it deeply because it means something. It truly does. Return of interest is important to you and me because it's concerned with what we're doing in our everyday lives. What am I going to gain from this? What am I going to gain from whatever it is I'm doing? Whether it's school, work, relationships. Like the amount of time you waste doing something because you feel like it's going to benefit you in the long run, I don't know. That's for you to decide. But to be realistic about certain things that's going on right now in our world, I don't know. It's shown now that college is not really effective, but yet people say, oh, it will pay off. Your parents will say, oh, it will pay off. And that's not really I'm not really trying to talk down about school. Go ahead and do your thing. A lot of my friends talk about going to get their masters. Quite frankly, a master's doesn't really matter. The most you're going to get is a $5,000 bonus on top of whatever you're making. On your salary, on top of whatever you're making. I don't know. It's not that significantly different. And that's a shame because grad school is stress times 20. I've seen a friend of mine just stressing, and she's talking about she had to do papers that were 20 pages, 30 pages, 40 pages for what? And I just don't understand, because at the end of the day, you're looking at it for accolades, but what is it going to return? It's good to say, oh, I have this degree and I got this degree. I met a lady that said she had 7 degrees, but she was still struggling. Where's the return on the interest? Like, you invested in something, I just want my interest back. Does that make sense? And that's all I'm saying, is that when you're making decisions, and this is something that I started doing, was start thinking about it. What is it going to return to me in the long run? And when I say long run, I don't mean long run. I don't mean 5 years. I mean in the next month, in the next 6 months, in the next year. Maybe. Depending on whatever it is. I feel like we can apply that to life. I feel like how businesses run their own structure and their own companies, I feel like that applies to our life. Especially when it comes to return of interest. But hey, return of interest. Use it and think about it. Think about your life right now. Think about your job. If you're working somewhere and it's not going to benefit you. I'm not telling anybody to quit their job, but But I'm telling you that, time matters. A lot of people say that they want to stay in their job field because they can move up eventually. Why? You can take what you know instead of moving up and go somewhere else. You feel like if you stay at your job for 5 years, that in return, they will give you a promotion. But what happens when you don't get that promotion? Then what? Same thing with a relationship. Everybody's idea of what a relationship should be like is different. I've come across that very well. And I feel like if I'm going to invest my time into someone, then essentially that means that I will be happy, But doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. Especially dealing with another person, whether it's a friendship or an actual relationship. When you're in these things, what do you want from that person is the real thing. Like, can they deliver? Whether it's somebody just being there, whether it's somebody that's going to be a partner, are you going to make money together? Are you going to be king and queen? Whatever, like things like that. Because return of interest is important. And I'm going to keep saying that because it is. And hopefully you understand that. But hey.
Say, man, if you really like the show, and I assume that you like it because you're still listening to the show, but if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, please, write us a review. It helps people find the show, for one, and it also gives people an idea of what's going on in the show without actually listening. So, it attracts other people, and I'm just asking, if you don't want to, it's cool. If you do, God bless you. Now back to the show.
Friends are important, right? Super, super important. Feel like everybody needs a friend, at least. But to determine what type of friend you are to this person, who knows? And I've learned from this about friendship, about how important it is. See, we have friends for a season. We have friends for a reason. And we have lifetime friends. And these lifetime friends, they're very, very hard. Very hard to come across. I have a few friends that, I just don't have to talk to them every day. But we know that we're always going to be as close as we ever will be. That this person will know everything about me. And I'm grateful because a lot of people don't have lifetime friends, Friendship is very, very important. And I've thought about it for a while, and just things that I've been doing is like just going back through like people that I used to deal with on a friendship level and on a intimate level, and just trying to make amends, even if like there's no bad blood. Still, I feel like those people came into my life for a reason. We have friends for a reason, I feel like people that have come in my life, as far as friends for a reason, has played its part in my life. And I truly appreciate that. I feel like those friends that come for a reason treat you, it gives you those life lessons that you need, how to treat somebody, how to be a better person as a whole, and just understanding how other human beings interact. Friends that come for a season, we love to call those our fake friends or people that don't really know us, but through that season, you needed that friend, and I can tell you that for sure. And it's not like a season as in spring, winter, summer. No, this is seasons in your life. And it's good to have friends for a season, because that also tells you where your weakest spots are, because the people that you choose to be around shows you have weak spots in you, just letting certain things get by, or people running over you, or just stuff like that. If you're going through a hard time in life and you need a friend for that season, you will have that friend. I always told myself that I I owe people a lot as far as friendship, because you don't just actually know what you do for somebody when it comes to being there for them. And I think that goes a long way. I feel like having a friend right now in whatever situation you're going through is probably the best thing. I made a mistake and I secluded everybody from my life because I felt like I can handle it on my own, whatever it is I'm going through, because it's my issue, right? But those friends that came during that season and for that reason should help you out of whatever situation that you're going through. All I'm saying is that friendship is important, whether it's for a season, whether it's for a reason, or whether you end up making this lifetime friend that you never knew that you'll be friends with. Who knows? Dylan Roof has officially got the death penalty. Officially. And I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I feel like I only have mixed feelings about it because I just don't believe in a death penalty. You know, I just don't feel like this is going to solve anything. This is not solving the issue, you know. A lot of people say, oh, well, it's mental health or mental illness, whatever. That's y'all go to for everything pretty much. And it's sad, you know, just having to deal with this. I don't know what type of satisfaction you're going to get from killing somebody or putting somebody to death in this judicial system. I just don't understand. Like, for me, if I lost somebody in a shooting and that person is put to death, nah, like, that's just, I don't know, it just doesn't really mean anything to me because I've already lost my lost one, you know? I'm just trying to put it into perspective. And that's what I think about when it comes down to these killings, right? We want justice, right? When it comes down to these police officers, we want justice. Let me tell you something about these police officers. They cannot be touched. I want you to know that if you pay attention, no police officer has been prosecuted to the fullest extent for something that was nationally seen. We've seen it on video. We know everything that's happened. We know that. But they just passed a bill not too long ago that the police officers are safe. And when I think about things like that, when it comes to taking somebody's job away because of their act of negligence when it came to racism, when it came to stereotype and discrimination, whatever, because that's what this is all revolved around. It's hate, bad judgment, simple things like that. It's simple things, but they cause so much problems. And I feel like when it comes to this, like, I don't feel like Dylan Roof should die because it doesn't solve anything. Once again, I feel like public humiliation, because that's my personal belief, that personal humiliation is 10 times more worse than you being killed, you know. People want these police officers to get fired and thrown in prison. No, that's not going to happen. But if you humiliate them, they're never going to do that again. The thing about rehab is like trying to retrain yourself. And that's what I feel like people need to be doing. They need to reprogram. I feel like if you humiliate them, I feel like if you put them in the community by force, like, yo, Officer Davis just shot somebody and now everybody's calling for his job. No, don't call for his job. Put homeboy in a community where he needs to learn. Put homeboy in after school programs or whatever so that he can learn. Because I feel like once you reprogram the brain, then all of this issue about racism and discrimination and just hating somebody will go away. Dylan Roof wanted to start a race war, and that seems to be the trend in all these massacres and whatnot. They want to start a race war. I just don't feel like it's gonna ever happen because we're not gonna let it happen. If you ever see somebody that's weird, and that's the one thing that's a issue, that when we hear all these things about people shooting and they get on the news and they're just like, I don't know, there was just something that I knew about him. You know, I seen the signs there. Why didn't you tell? You know? And, we just got to pay attention about these things because enough is enough when it comes to dying. We don't want that no more. I'm tired of hearing a school shooting or a massacre. I really am. But it seems like we're so numb to it. And that's a sad thing. But it's okay. It really is okay. I think that things are going to get better. It's not going to be like a large amount when it comes to better, but slow progress will be made. When I say slow, I mean like 5-10 years, but I don't know. I feel like the upbringing of the kids is going to make for better. Dylan Roof's sister actually just got arrested. I think she got arrested, or she has drug and weapon charges. She brought a weapon to school. I don't know. There's just something wrong with that family. I don't know. But those are the things, we see these things. We think about the upbringing of these children or whatever. It sucks that people end up wasting their lives. You wasted all 15 years to get charged with drugs and weapons. It doesn't make sense to me. But I feel like once we move past this, then things will get better. And even when it comes to those people administering the serum to kill the person or put the person to sleep, I don't know. That's a hard job. I can't do that for sure. My hands will be shaking or whatnot. But for somebody to be put to death and not care about their life, sad. Credit is so damn important. It's so important. I feel like it's probably the most important thing in this country. A lot of people say, oh, it's not important. And, I'm probably one of those people that are on the lower side of not really caring about it. But I feel like it's important if you don't have the cash to purchase an item or services, or even when it comes to mortgage, because it's a high percentage of people that get mortgages, or not even mortgage, renting an apartment or renting a home. We all look at credit for those things, or even buying a car. I forgot. Yeah, they all look at credit. If you don't have the money right then and there, they're gonna go for credit. Why is credit important? It's important because it just shows a level of responsibility. A lot of us have that issue of having bad credit, or somebody use your name, somebody in your family use your name, and now your credit is ruined, and that's unfortunate, but there's always time to make a change when it comes to credit. I feel like credit is important in aspects of just needing something. Like if you need a loan, even though I'm opposed to it, but just certain things like that. So I was doing my research. I just got me a credit card, and I'm gonna make sure that upon using it, I have the money to return it. And I feel like that's where a lot of people mess up. Credit is important, but making sure you have the money to pay the credit off is just as important. There's people that will say, oh, you have a credit limit of $1,000, $1,500, or $2,000 or whatever. And, it's just like looking at it like, oh, damn, I got money. Okay. All right. A lot of people use that money and go reckless. A lot of people have 5 different credit cards by 5 different banks. They've involved their kids in it and they've messed up their credit, and it's not fair. I made this conscious decision to get this credit card just because, in the future I want to do some things, whether it's a business loan or whether it's getting something that I may need and I just don't want to put cash down. It's just thinking about stuff like that. Anything that makes me look financially responsible in this country, at least. So I got me this credit card, right? One thing that I did that I know that a lot of people that have a 800 credit score, I don't even know that's the highest, but so one thing I did was, because I love my sister so much, and I feel like she deserves a jump in society. You know, there's something called adding her onto my line. She's not going to get a credit card. But I decided to do that because upon being 18, whether she decides to go to college, whether she decides to get a car, whether she decides to get an apartment, that she will have available credit already there. I see a lot of people do that. I had a friend that I used to work with, and he's talking about having 700 credit score, and I'm just like, how? He was just like, oh, my dad just put me on his credit card. But and that's where it comes down to it, just being responsible of your finances. You know, I can't talk about it for sure about being responsible because I've had my time when I wasn't responsible with my money. I've made a lot of money, no brag, but I've also spent a lot of money unnecessary, and that's unfortunate. But I'm here to say we're trying to make big moves. You know, I want my family to succeed. I want the rest of you guys to succeed. So why aren't we in this together? You know, let's make better financial decisions. I feel like when it comes to financial responsibility, that it's really important to make sound decisions and not make decisions based off emotion or stress or whatever's going on at that time. I started looking at my finances, and, you know, I don't really worry about it as much anymore. And I feel like that's the best thing that's happened to me. I feel like I've been stress-free because I don't have to worry about my finances. So if you ever think about it, take a look at it, learn how to spend responsibly, you know, hit me up because I need to know how to spend my money responsibly. If you don't take it from me, you know, listen to these other people that talk about it. Just want to get you to understand that being financially responsible will put you in the best situation of your life. Does not matter what money you're making. Doesn't matter if you're making $15,000 a year. Doesn't matter if you're making $30,000 a year. Same difference. You're still making money, but you know how to spend your money right. And credit cards, one more time, if you want to do it, if you want to go the traditional way, don't spend money that you don't have. Because that's really what credit is imaginary money. You still got to pay it back. But that's just to say, be responsible. You're in a tough spot right now, right? So what do you do to resolve the issue? You know, I always think about what I can change and not what I cannot change. Especially when it's something that's going on in the head. Like I can tell you something personal is going on right now. But I started to think about it, and it's been on my mind for a while. And I feel like I was stressing about it, but I was stressing about it for the wrong reasons. You know, I started thinking more about it as in, okay, there's this issue here, you know, what are you going to do about it? So I had to change the way I thought. And I started to think about things about if there's a problem, seek the solution. I feel like once we start looking at things and start to figure out that if we can change it, if we can find a solution for it and not go off of emotion, then life will be a lot simpler. I feel like decision making is probably one of the biggest things in our life right now, because that's pretty much what life is about, is decision making. You can go one way, you can go the other way. And you know, it's a shame that a lot of people don't try to think about the resolution, but here we are. You know, whatever situation you're going through, there's a solution, whether it's money, whether it's friends, whether it's personal, whatever it is. We all go through our battles. We all go through our struggles. We all face something different, but one thing about it is that there's always a resolution. We can always find a resolution. And I think that's the beauty in life and adversity. Like, a lot of people talk about it. You know, we hear it on music, saying that there's beauty in the struggle, whatever you're struggling with, whether it's money or whatever. And I learned that upon this process that you need to appreciate it, because you can't go back yesterday. That's the worst thing about it, is that you can't go back. I feel like that's important because our future is riding on every decision that we make. So let's find the right solution, you know? You don't have to listen to anybody. You don't have to take advice from anybody, but you need to know that whatever you're doing, whatever decision you're making, that is sound. And that's what I can really say about it. Appreciate the process, respect the process, and the solution will come to you. I look back on it now, and I looked how far we struggled as a family. We went from good to bad to good to bad to going good. Like, we found the solution. We're just respecting the process, if that makes sense. And that goes on a personal note. I feel like it's important right now, whatever you're going through. Words of wisdom. Wake up before the light, and your money will never be tight. It doesn't get more simpler than that. Focus on your craft. If you gotta wake up early to work on something that you want to work on, whether it's your hobby, whether it's something that's gonna make you money in the future, just think about it. And not even working on whatever it is that you want to succeed at. Just know that the next person is still sleeping. You know, if you wake up earlier than the next person, you have the advantage at whatever it is in you, whatever field that you are in. Doesn't get more simpler than that. Once again, go visit the website, moreaboutsomethingelse.com. If you have any emails, whatever, Joshua at moreaboutsomethingelse.com. But my name is Joshua, and I'm out.
Hey man, fuck all the bullshit. Ain't no rules to this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Do what the fuck you want to do out here. If you want to go be a DJ, be a DJ. You want to strip, go strip, my nigga. Do what the fuck you want to do. Ain't no rules to this shit. We out here. Stay determined, beloved.